Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Legend, and you are now tuned into Season 3, Episode 1 of the So What You Think podcast. That's right, we back. Let's get it. So, I just want to start off by saying, man, it's such an honor and a privilege to be back doing this podcast. First of all, for those who are new, I'm an artist by the name of Legend, TSW Legend. I run with TSW Camp, and we started the So What You Think podcast because simply we just wanted to talk about things in faith, culture, and life, and give biblical perspective from kind of like an urban personality. And mostly this podcast will be full of interesting conversation through the lens of faith, culture, life, and art, but always from a God-driven perspective. And man, I'm super excited. This is you might be seeing that it's season 3, episode 1, and we had to go on a little bit of hiatus because some things were shifting and moving. But man, it's good to be back, and now we got a new element. So first off, if you're listening, please be sure to like and share this podcast with other people who you think might be just inclined to enjoy this type of content. And man, if you're watching, be sure to like and share and subscribe on YouTube. You got to say all the things because that's the era we're living in, man. But I'm super excited to be back doing this. Like I said, it won't just be me; it'll be other guests on, and it'll be plenty of fun. But right now, man, we're gonna dive into our first chapter, our first segment, and we're gonna talk about faith, man. Let's get in that. All right, so, we talking faith, man. Kind of want to get into kind of the origins of what is what is TSW. For those who don't know, Team So What, or TSW stands for Team So What, and it's really just about having a attitude that is that is unashamed and just ready to be or go wherever God wants us to go, and not caring about the opinions of people, not letting people's opinions define you. And one of my favorite verses, if not my favorite verse, is Galatians 1:10. And in Galatians 1:10, Paul says, and paraphrase, he says, if I live for the approval of people, I wouldn't be a servant of God. If I live for the approval of people, I wouldn't be a servant of God. And that's a verse that is one that really is a standout for me. Really is a crux of my identity as a believer, as an artist, as a husband, as a leader. Man, it's not caring about people's opinions, but only caring about God's opinion. If I care about His opinion, man, I'm accepted. One of the things I'm seeing, if I can divulge a little bit, about what's happening in the culture, man, a lot is I'm seeing a lot of people who really just care about other people's opinions, or they're forgetting the opinion of the one who created them. We sometimes have a tendency to move based off of what culture is doing, or move based off of people's feelings, and that can disrupt what God wants to do through you. And man, the one thing I never want to do as a person, I hope people don't do, is I never want to allow imperfect people to take me away from a perfect God. And I know that's not an easy thing. I know that's not necessarily like the easiest thing to do or the simplest thing to do, but I think it's always worth it. Because when you care about other people's opinion, or when you're shifted by other people's opinions so easily, rather, man, it'll throw you off your game, and then you'll start to see that you only really move based off of the acceptance or the guidance of how people may see you, and that one isn't really you, and two, that's not really being who God called you to be. And people's opinion are fickle, man. One minute they love you, next minute they'll turn on you. I mean, you know, Ishan Burgundy said they'll hail you to nail you, and they just saying that to Jesus. One minute they're chanting, "Yo, man, Hosanna, save us," and then the next minute, you know, they're yelling, "Crucify him," and that has a way deeper meaning as well. But the point is, man, when you're shifted by people's opinions so much, it can destroy who God called you to be, and at the same time, when you're just shifted by people's opinions or emotions or how they do things, man, it takes your eyes off of Jesus, and it takes your eyes off of who He called you to be. Man, I was having a conversation with my wife not too long ago, and one of the things I was sharing, man, I said, man, if people just remembered to talk about or kept their eyes on the God that they serve, as opposed to the people who say they know Him, then man, things would be so much greater. And it's not saying that you don't care about your brothers and sisters in the faith or people who say they are. You don't look out for leeches or snakes or all these things. But I think, man, one thing is I won't allow people to allow me to be distracted by what they're doing. I want to keep my mind and my eyes on Jesus. You know, Isaiah 26:3 says, man, those who keep their mind on me, I'll keep them in perfect peace. And, you know, Jesus is a perfect peace. You know, we got other verses like Matthew 6:33, seek ye the kingdom of God and all His righteousness and all these things. And God will take care of you. And one thing that we know, that God is a God who cares for His people. And when you do His will, man, who cares about being accepted by other people? I mean, why does it matter? It doesn't matter in any context, in any stretch of the imagination. Because man, like if heaven accepts me, if heaven is okay with what I'm doing, then I'm good. I'm straight. And that's the only thing I really care about. So that mantra of just having so what type of attitudes, man, is I'm going to be all that God called me to be, regardless of what people may say, regardless of how people may feel, who it offends. If I am representing kingdom and I'm being all that God called me to be, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that, and I would implore other people to do the same. Man, Galatians 1:10 is such a crux of who I am as a person, and the attitude I want to have. If I live for the approval of people, I wouldn't be a servant of God. Man, not living for people's approval, not living by people's approval, not living or changing based on how people approve or disapprove, or even, again, going back into this, how much you disapprove of how somebody may be moving. Man, I want to move the way that Jesus is calling me to move, not the way that culture may be moving. And again, that's not saying that you can't care about social things or, you know, things that's going on in the world. Like, you're in the world but not of it, and you're not taking like a back seat to people's problems and gripes, because you are in the world to you know, speak some hope. But I think at the end of the day, you live for people's approval, you wouldn't be a servant of God. And that's just something that I just thought was super dope, man. So that's kind of like our attitude over here at TSW. Shout out to the team, man. Listen, we working hard. We working hard on a lot of stuff, a lot of new stuff, a lot of great stuff coming up. Got some announcements coming up, some things we'll be able to talk about pretty soon, man. There'll be guests on the show as well. Man, So What You Think podcast is back, man. I'm genuinely like just like, man, like we doing it, man. We doing it. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. But yeah, that's the verse in faith. Man, don't let people's opinion like sway you one way or another, man. Like, live for what God has called you to do. And that's where So What You Think podcast comes up. What is God telling you? What is He telling you to do and how to move? So yeah, man. So What You Think podcast. We back, and yo, that was a small a little tidbit of what'll be going on here in our faith segment, and I just wanted to share that, kind of give some light on what the TSW means and where that kind of came from. But now, man, we're gonna pop into culture. So we talking culture, right? We talking culture. So if those of you who are not new to the show, you know our very special head co-host at one point was my brother Apostle Pastor Tom Howe, and we were big comic book people, big movie guys. We just you're in the world but not of it, and we would talk movies and culture. And one of the things I'm seeing now is people are talking a little bit about Marvel's resurgence, right? Marvel's resurgence on what's going on what's happening with Marvel. And I'll be honest, man, I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried. One, man, shout out to Robert Downey Jr. because he's always going to be phenomenal. He's a guy who, from what I've seen, has always put his everything into a character. However, man, I'm not the most excited, I'll say, for Doomsday. I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna go tune in. Can't say I'm necessarily the most excited, and I'll tell you why. I feel like movies now have become just cash grabs. They're everything has to be box office. Everything has to be monumental. Everything has to be like larger than life. There's no little small pocket of movies for just like the man. If you like this, you like this. We got indie films, yeah, but there's no like small pocket, like no small like little divot for the person who just, man, I want to watch, I don't know, ninjas ride skateboards. I don't know why that came to my head, but if you want to do a movie about, I don't know, ninjas riding skateboards, ninja samurais riding skateboards, go for it. There used to be a time in like the 80s and the 90s where, man, there was like so many movies coming out. And I'm not saying that all great films in that time were great, but I think there was something for everybody. And now with the way movies and cinema is kind of running, man, everything is a cash grab. Everything is really kind of made to be box office. And I'm like, man, like, do we need that mentality? Maybe you just like what you like. And if it doesn't make a certain amount of money, then it's considered a failure. It's considered a loss. But I don't think that. Like, for instance, like Thunderbolts, it didn't necessarily cross the threshold of what people thought it should make, right? However, as a fan of Marvel movies and as a fan of those particular things, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought the movie was dope. I thought it was great. And it was kind of a return to form of what Marvel was doing prior in the first chapter of like the Infinity Saga, like where they cared about the building of characters and strong character work, and it wasn't all these cash grabs. And one thing that Marvel used to do really, really well, and still does really well, is casting. And man, I just want to get back to the storytelling element. And when they brought in Robert Downey, I was like, man, is this a cash grab? Is this a plea for help? And all the like super team up ensemble movies, I'm like, all right, like it feels cash grabby. I'm not sure that's a phrase or a word or a terminology, but I'm gonna use it. It's a cash grabby thing. And what's happening right now in the culture of art and cinema is, man, like there's no little guy films, or there's no, man, if this is what you like, this is what you like. Everything's like this blockbuster, monumental, larger than life type of movie. And man, I kind of just want, man, like your different pockets of film. I want Avengers Doomsday to do well. I want to like the story, because something like you know, Infinity War was popping, man. Infinity War was dope. especially because it just it brought in it was paced really well within the framework of the whole story. Endgame was dope as well. I just remember some of those early Marvel films, and this is not just a critique of Marvel. It sounds like it is, but it's not. I'm just talking about. I'm using them as an example. But we talk about movies, and we talk about that framework of just really creating. Man, how y'all feel about movies, man? How do you feel about cinema right now? How do you feel about storytelling? I feel like there's a part of just the natural storytelling DNA framework fabric of just, man, I want to tell a great story that's missing, and new original ideas are kind of getting shot down or not getting pushed as much. There was a movie that came out not too long ago. I think it was like 2 years ago, with David Washington. Um, I forget the name of it, and it was like kind of like this new sci-fi esque idea, and it didn't really get a lot of love. And that's another thing, man. Like again, you used to have these little subcategories. You had sci-fi, you had your action, you had your action comedy, you had your pure comedy, you had your chick flick or your rom com, you had your family film, you had your documentary. Now everything is kind of like these like blended crossover genre things, and it's not saying you can't have those things, but like great storytelling, and great character building and story dynamic is one thing where like movies right now kind of worry me. I'm kind of a little worrisome. Fantastic Four was cool. It was cool. I wasn't in love with it. Uh, Let me say, not I wasn't in love with it. I enjoyed it. But it was cool. Superman was cool too. It was cool. It was cool. I just, man, the blockbuster idea that everything has to be just like this grand, super phenomenal blockbuster, everything exploding, Michael Bay type of thing. Not a shout out Michael Bay, by the way, but super like just everywhere type of movie, man. We don't got to do that. We don't got to do the whole cash grab thing, man. So let's get back to just making pure art, great art for the sake of making great art, man. But how y'all feel about movies right now, man? Be sure to like and subscribe, man. Got to say that now. Be sure to like and subscribe, and put how you feel in the comments, man. Put what's your ideas or where you feel like cinema is going and art is going within the culture. Are you excited to see Avengers Doomsday? Are you not? Or are you kind of just like, eh? Is there a movie that you are excited to see? I'm trying to think of the last great movie I saw. Like the last movie I saw, I was like, man, I got to see that again. The last great movie I probably seen, where I was like, man, that was a great movie. It's been a while, man. It's been a while. Because for me, I see movies like 3 times, depending on what movie it is. Like I saw Superman 3 times, I saw Fantastic Four twice, 3 times. I'm trying to think the last great movie I saw, and man, I'm for great art, great art. But movies and cinema right now, it got me a little worried, man. I'm not gonna hold you, but I want to see how y'all feel, man. Be sure to drop it in the comments. Send us an email, whatever. But yeah, man, how y'all feel? How y'all feel? All right, that's enough of that. And now we're gonna move on to life. All right, so this is life, and life is going. We're talking about what's going on right now, in our lives, or in the guests who will be a guest. Jesus is always present, but right now we're talking about talk about me specifically. What's going on in my life, man? Shout out to CFCC. Right now, I'm pastoring, and shout out to the whole team and the pastor's team over there. God is doing a lot of great things. I'm enjoying that a ton. Man, one, I'm humbled and honored to be a part of that. And that's what's happening. So I've had the joy of serving and being a servant and being fed the word as well. And it's a great thing. That's going on the light part, man. Wife is good. Life is good, man. We're taking it day by day and just thanking God for the journey and all that He's doing, and just thanking God for always being who He is, and it's been wonderful. Man, she is moving. Uh, with her calling, where God has called her, Nancy Beauty and Shine Bright Beauty. She's doing her thing. Be sure to check that out. Valentine's Day is coming up, so you want to go buy something for your wife or your significant other. Might be a girlfriend right now, or maybe you just want to bless somebody. Man, go check out Nancy Beauty. That's a cool thing. Nancy Beauty on IG, and she does a lot of stuff in the Philadelphia tri-state area. Events for women and things like that. So that's kind of going on. So pastoring is one thing. Man, working on new music. I know it's a thing that artists say all the time, but no, legitimately working on new music. Plan on having some new music sooner than later. We working hard. Just want to make sure that it's presented in the best light that we can. And one thing about myself personally, you'll never catch me just making music for the sake of making music. I kind of want to take time and craft. I know we live in an era where it's just like go, 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 but I actually want to know where I'm going. And, but definitely working on new music for sure. That's a promise. Definitely working on new music. Coming from the team as well. Man, we talk about Grimlock. We talk about Tamir. We talk about, DJ LA. I mean, first of all, shout out to DJ LA, man. Give him his shout out. He everywhere, man. Listen, I can't even call the brother no more. I gotta send a Gmail. I gotta go do his booking to get to him. That's a joke. But man, shout out to DJ LA, doing a lot of great things. Shout out to Just Tamir, doing a lot of those stuff. Grimlock coming. Man, might have some new artists on the team. I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing, but it might be coming. We got some stuff coming up this year, man. 2026 is happening. We here, we live. Got a lot of new music coming. Got a lot of new art coming. But man, life is going good, man. I personally, I just want to be a servant. I just want to be whatever God has called me to be, in whatever capacity He's called me to do it. Man, whether that's on stage or at the door, I just want to do that. I just want to make God proud. And in these moments and in these times that I've had the pleasure to do anything, I'm just grateful. Even, man, again, with the So What You Think podcast being back, I'm excited because, man, like I never wanted it to go away, and it didn't really go away. It just, things were changing a bit where we had to adjust and we had to move accordingly. But now the So What You Think podcast is back, and man, it's a lot of great stuff going on, man. Like I said, new music is on the way. I might have a song out before, or I might be teasing something as this podcast comes out. New music from the team. We're making an announcement pretty soon about some stuff that's coming up this year. Man, life is good. God is good. And, man, let's continue to stay locked in. Yo, this was episode 1, the Okayy We Back episode. And I'm excited for what God's going to do, man. Be sure to like and subscribe, and, leave your comments. And, be sure to share this with somebody, because, man, there will be plenty more episodes. We plan on having guests. We plan on having guest hosts, some interviews, some stuff going on. And, man, I'm super excited. All right, this is Legend, So What You Think podcast, and we out. Peace.